Good afternoon. My name is Dean Mazzarola, Mayor for the City of Leominster, and it is 2 minutes past the hour of 4. This is our afternoon update. We do them every day at 9 in the morning, and then we do them later on in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. And thank you for watching. And this is streaming on WLPZ.org. That's WLPZ.org. And you can also catch it on Leominster TV, Leominster.tv, and then hit on streaming. In the meantime, we want to thank all our first responders and those working in the healthcare industry for keeping us safe and strong. This is a difficult time. We understand that. And so far, so good. We have one official reported case of the virus in Leominster. That's a resident of Leominster, so we have one reported case. They tell me at the hospital that the drive-through temporary tent system that they have outside for testing has been very busy, but they wanted me to share with everyone that it has been extremely orderly. People have been patient and understanding, and that will help speed up the process for testing for those who have shown symptoms. And again, the sort of protocol is if you believe you have symptoms, then simply call the emergency room. I'm sorry, you can call the emergency room, but call your primary doctor first, and or somebody in the healthcare industry, like maybe a med stop, but have a doctor send notice to you that you need to be tested. You will get tested, and then given the results. Let me switch here because we've got some slides. Let's see what we have here for slides. Okay. Here's the businesses that can stay open, and there's some of the examples. And again, we've gotten calls all day since the governor had his press conference about, is my business essential? If you have any questions, you can call us at City Hall, 978-534-7500, extension 0. We have a meeting first thing tomorrow morning, right after our afternoon briefing. And we can, if you have a specific business that you think is questionable, by all means, give us a call and we'll get you that information. Businesses that can stay open, again, we have a number of manufacturing operations here in the city of Leominster who are making products both for the military and for medical use. So they are essential services, and we will keep them up and running. If your company is being affected by the COVID, Mass Hire, DOA, and Mass Hire BizWorks have programs that will help you out. So Massachusetts has adopted a series of emergency rules to relieve the burden of temporary layoffs and work-share programs. The work-share programs help employers prevent layoffs by reducing the schedules of workers instead of laying them off, while benefits help to offset employees' lost wages. So there you go. Again, take a picture. If it helps at all, take a picture with your phone right now. All of this will be put up on YouTube. Is that correct back there? I believe this all gets put up on YouTube. And if that's so, then you'll be able to get that information if you missed it. And then again, you can always call our office at 978-534-7500. I'm going to, apparently, I uploaded the wrong, for some reason, guys, I did this morning's update rather than today's, and I will try to fix that for people who are trying to watch this on LTV. Let's try this again. Yes, there we are. We'll go to the next slide. So there you go. If you have any questions about employments, layoffs, temporary layoffs, work-share programs, there are the phone numbers to call. There's the work-share division, and there's the rest of the websites where you can get the information. I would suggest get as much off the website as you possibly can, And then if there are any questions, then by all means, give them a call, because the phones are just going to be, I mean, they're doing tens of thousands of claims each day. A message from the Department of Public Works: please do not flush sanitation wipes. Those are really neat and convenient wipes that you get that say they're flushable. They aren't, and so please don't flush those things. Paper towels, napkins, wet wipes, baby wipes, facial tissues, even though they're advertised as so, they don't. And every single treatment plant in the country can show you pictures of what it looks like. So anyway. Are You OK program designed for seniors. If there's somebody in your family, maybe you're watching this and you don't live around here, call your mother and father and they say, no, I'm all set. You know what? Call Are You OK program at 978-534-7560, 3432. They will set you up, and every day they'll give you a call. Dispatchers call every number daily at designated time. If nobody answers after 2 times, they send an officer to check. Number one, it does a really neat thing. It actually has somebody calling them. And in times when, elder, disabled, ill, or home, it's nice to get that phone call. So to check on them. So there's a great service. It costs you nothing. Take advantage of it. If you have an alarm system at your house or your business, I know I said this a couple of times last week. I want to reiterate it again this week. I know sometimes, there's a mistake, but there's many times, too many times in the morning, where our police officers are really moving from one section to the city to the other, sometimes 2 and 3 cars trying to get to an alarm call. It's really counterproductive, and we don't know, the officers that are getting dispatched, they don't know whether it's a false alarm or a real alarm. If you're a business owner, parent, guardian, this might be the time when people have some downtime to go through the whole alarm system process, because I understand sometimes a kid gets home and forgets to take goes into the garage, forgets to deactivate the alarm, and that is critical, because now we've got police officers coming across town. It's dangerous for them. They don't know where what they're getting themselves into, because they don't know if it's a break or not, or a hold-up alarm goes off. So train your employees. And also, many times there are managers or people that are responsible parties. They change positions, they leave the company, and they don't update that list at the police department or the fire department or the building department. Please update those lists. Here are some important phone numbers. The catch-all for everything is our office or the mayor's office. We're there. We will not be going to, we think we're essential services as city government, so we're going to be there. There's our phone number, emergency management for all other calls. You have just questions about transportation, about trash, whatever it might be, 978-534-7500, extension 5055. If you have any questions while I'm running through this, and you're watching Facebook, if you want to put those messages up on Facebook, I will not read your name, but I will read your message. There's our phone number for Meals on Wheels. Leominster Veterans Center. State hotline is 211. For emergencies, always call 911. And if we could blow that back up, guys, back there. The new, this is brand new. Mott will be limiting Council on Aging. I feel like I'm at the optometrist. Can you blow that up again? Because I'm reading it from, there you go. Mott will be limiting Council on Aging rides to the grocery stores, medical appointments, and the pharmacy. This will be effective beginning March 25th through April 7th. Mott will also not be charging any fares during this time. For rides, call the Senior Center at 978-534-7511. So if you have to go to any of those places, not going to be a problem, and you're not going to get charged. City Hall is open for you. So many of the forms that you're looking for are available online. So there's at every single municipal building, even though we're closed, there's a list of every person, their function, email address, and their telephone number, and you can reach out to them. You can call them. They'll bring a form out for you, have you sign it, bring it back in, and we limit our contact, obviously. So there's that information. I hope that's helpful. We're going to keep local government open for you as long as possible. The federal government, the state government says it's harder for them to do their work. It takes longer for them to get their assistance to you. And local government is the place you see when you open the front door It's the local newspapers people read, and obviously by the number of people who have been watching and texting and Facebook messaging us and emailing us and calling us. It is local government where people are paying the most amount of attention. School department with Caldwell is doing a great job with providing meals. Did over 3,000 out on Friday so they could get them out for the weekend to kids. There's the hotline at 534-7700, extension 1341. And there's their hotline, email address, and 7 and 9 over at these locations: Johnny Appleseed School, Francis Drake, Leominster High School, Fallbrook. Superintendent, for some reason, if I know you've been bringing over those lunches to the to a couple other locations, and if for some reason they don't, because of the non-essential employees list that came out, if for some reason they can't staff it at City Hall, we'll be glad to staff that. So those other places of town that can't seem to manage to get to those other locations because they're too far away or they don't have transportation, and those are really good central locations to sections of the city, but if they can't, we'll be glad to not only hand them out, but also deliver them if need be. We want to make sure kids eat, and this is a critical time. We need to keep everybody's tolerance up, and nutrition is important, and there are apples in there, and everything that you get in these bags that you see right there is nutritious and healthy, and we want to fend off any cold or virus of any kind. So again, 7 to 9 weekdays, Johnny Appleseed School, Francis Drake, Leominster High School, and Fallbrook. Testing sites, and I'll keep going over this because as I said just earlier, Health Alliance, I just got off the phone with them. They have their conference call going simultaneously, so we have staff on those conference calls every single time. And here's what happens to go to their testing site. You must have a doctor's note. You must call ahead. You must call ahead so they know you're coming, so they can get ready for you. 978-466-2627. They're located under the parking deck. If you go into the front entrance off of North Main Street and go straight in, you will see signs immediately directing you where to go. They have a lot of staff out there. It's very organized, and they wanted me to compliment everyone for their patience, and it's really working well. And the faster, the more organized everybody can be, and the more patient and prepared we can be, the faster the process will go, and the faster we can get the results back. That's 10 to 2. Now, at Reliant, if you're a patient or a customer of Reliant, testing starts on Wednesday the 25th. You could contact Reliant directly for an appointment, and testing at Reliant is for, unfortunately, Reliant customers only, but they have a big network of customers in this area. Employee business assistance. Every day, more and more businesses calling saying, you know, we think we're going to be in trouble. And I don't know how long this is going to last. Nobody can tell us how long it's going to last. Most businesses tell me they can get through a week or maybe 2. But lots of businesses are questioning whether or not they'll survive this. We really want to be helpful to them in any way possible. Business questions at City Hall, contact Melissa Taska. There's their phone number. Chamber of Commerce, fully staffed at Chamber of Commerce. There's their email address. There is their phone number, 978-353-7600. Best to email them or to go to the website. There's tons of information on that website. And to file an unemployment claim, best thing to do. And if you have a problem with translation, you're having a hard time filling out that form, give us a buzz at City Hall, 978-534-7500. The update today, as of this second, is cases in Worcester County are 777. In Massachusetts, case update in Massachusetts is 777. In Worcester County, all of Worcester County, 42. And if you're just joining us now, I had stated at the very beginning of this presentation, when we got on at 2 minutes past 4, that there was one reported confirmed case of the virus here in the city. Here's some information on the federal level. Again, we try to take what we monitor the federal the president and the governor and also other mayors across the country. We monitor what's happening there. Here are some things that are happening. And just to brief you on what's happening, supplies are beginning to come and come fast. It's a great thing, and bringing 2 medical ships to New York and California where they really need it. A stimulus package, which unfortunately didn't pass yesterday. I'm not sure why. This is really no time to sort of add politics to the equation, but let's hope they work through the night and get something passed soon. This week in the state level, again, the PPE, personal protection equipment, is beginning to come in. Working with the Army Corps of Engineers, coordination of child care centers. If there's somebody in Leominster that owns a child care center, we are trying to open, along with the state, are trying to open child care centers for emergency personnel and those in the medical field for obvious reasons. Give us a call at City Hall. We'd like to have you as a backup. Also finalizing details in a $20 million package for small business. Continuing to expand telehealth. After this virus is gone and we've put it all to sleep, tele-everything will be important. Telehealth especially, where we don't need to have you come to the doctor's office, where we can either by virtue of Skype or some other software or just through the telephone have a nice conversation with the patient, find out what's going on in their life, and then decide exactly what the next steps would be. And again, continuing to address regulations that stand in the way of progress. This week in the local level, United Way is putting together a fund. We realize there are a number of workers that work off of tips, work at bars or restaurants or service, whatever it might be, and they really need some help. They survived last week, and I think the interesting thing is they were every single server or person that I spoke with who worked in the lounge business or the tavern business were very optimistic, and we're not complaining, but we're just worried about long-term effects where they might not qualify for unemployment because they get an hourly wage, which is very low, but they count on tips. City buildings will remain closed to the public, but staff is ready to assist, and I mean with anything. We have a great, devoted, really focused staff at city government and school government, and we're there to help you out. Take advantage of us. That's what we do. That's our calling. That's our purpose. We want to help. We'll continue on with our daily conference calls with Health Alliance. We'll have a meeting, I believe, tomorrow or a Wednesday with Mayor's Association, Department of Public Health, the Governor's Office. United Way, again, is setting up that fund. Go to their website. They'll tell you how to give if you'd like to give, but they'll also tell you how you can receive some assistance if you'd like. Emergency Management, Police, and Fire are in touch with MEMA every day. Jim LeBlanc provides a number, the head of our Emergency Operations Center, provides me a number of updates during the course of the day. I know you keep hearing it all of the time. And my simple solution, consider that you have the virus, consider everybody you come in contact with has the virus, and consider everything you touch. Every material, every surface is somehow or another compromised. And if you do that, you will slow the spread. Partnerships, there's all our partnerships that we have with other agencies, state and federal governments. Here we go. We want to thank, and I haven't updated this, but we want to thank all of those in the dentist for providing us. They were doing this even before the state ordered them closed. We're putting together any surplus information that they had, supplies that they had. Those were brought to the emergency management by truck, and there was a substantial amount of great materials that were there. We want to thank them. That made a big difference. We were able to equip our police and fire and get some of this up to the hospital. Adams Tool brought masks, I believe, and other supplies to the emergency room hospital. United Solutions here in Leominster, another business that brought masks and other materials to the Health Alliance facility. O'Connor Companies. I can't even tell you how much they donated. And I could just, as one example that I have in front of me off the top of my head, 2,500 gowns that we could supply our public safety employees with, and those are so important. We've got to protect them on that front line. That's absolute. And then today, received another call from another doctor's office I will get that and update this for tomorrow morning. I don't want to mess it up by giving the wrong information. And also Jeff Richard from, is it RJS? Let me see. Richards. Somewhere in there, the initials. But Jeff Richard gave us a call today, and he had masks. He's in the construction business, and he called us and said, hey, anything I can do to help out? I can't tell you how generous people have been. I think we're in better shape than most communities that have a central hospital because of so many of the manufacturers and how helpful and what a good relationships I think we've had with our businesses and our businesses have had with us. And everyone has stepped up. I got a call from Sue Zephyr, Councilor Susan Zephyr, and she said that she had an overabundance because people were so generous. She had an overabundance of supplies, eggs, and really important things you can't even get at the supermarket. And I said, bring them over to City Hall. She drove an entire truck over to City Hall, opened the gates. Before we were first going to set it up and set up tables out front, but before we could even do that, and we opened the back door, people were already there, and they were not hoarding. They were being very respectful of the fact that we were able to provide them, and Ginny's was able to provide them with eggs and some things they can't get at the grocery store. So people took what they needed, other than the lemon pies, and I'm not sure, I don't know, I like lemon pies, but for some reason, lemon pies went a little slower than most other things. But either way, that was great, and that was very generous of them and generous to everybody that makes those donations to Ginny's. So again, we want to thank Ginny's and Susan Zephyr for bringing that by, the folks at Ginny's. That was a big help. And next, we'll be working on a diaper drive. And stay tuned tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about that because as supplies run thin, as more and more people are out of work, my kids were young. I remember there being a Infamil or a diaper shortage and having to run to Child World and run all over the world to get diapers. Well, what I expect is that some folks that are unemployed or those people that work off of tips or who might be servers are going to begin to need some of these supplies for their young children, and these things are expensive. Diapers and Infamil and all of that are very expensive. So we're going to put a little drive together to try to help them out and begin to build a little bit of an inventory of that. So when people need them, they'll be able to give us a call and get those things. I think we're out of slides for right now. On a positive note, at the Leominster Public Library, free Wi-Fi at the Pearl Street entrance. We're closed, but there's still people inside the building. Maybe you're trying to log on. Maybe you're trying to download a book, some music. Maybe you get on that website for the first time and you've never really had to use it, but now you want to, but you have a problem. Call the Leominster Public Library and they will walk you through the process. Senior shopping hours. Pay attention because last week we gave the information out on Thursday. Maybe it was a little bit late. No, actually we gave it out on Wednesday. But this week at Market Basket, 60 and older, 5:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Shaw's out there in Clinton, Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 9. Target, the first hour of shopping every Wednesday at 9 for seniors. Walmart, March 24th to the 28th, every Tuesday for 1 hour before the store opens, but you need to call each store specifically and ask them what their hours are. So it would be Tuesday, 1 hour before whichever hour they usually open. Hannaford, 6 to 7 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And thank you to Hannaford for donating $250,000 to local food pantries. So many now that we're just sending you over to the Leominster Community Development Facebook page, and I hope it's on our website. But you can call your favorite restaurant, your takeout, and find out what their hours are. Some have a limited menu, but anyway, that's a good way to get fed, good way to explore new restaurants and support local businesses. Leominster Parks, but not the equipment, is open. Again, keep your distance. We have 26 miles of trails. Barrett Park is 8.9 acres with walking trails around it. Again, I think, everybody I saw yesterday, a couple times I've, had to tell kids that were having a basketball game or whatever. Once you talk to them and make them understand, they're fine. But for the most part, people keeping their distance. Everybody had, a gallon of hand sanitizer, or if not, a 55-gallon drum of it. Everybody was washing their hands. Everybody was practicing safe health, safe distance, and that's what's going to keep the virus down. So they haven't done a shelter in place at all, but common sense applies. If you'd like to volunteer, each day more and more we need volunteers. Maybe today it's not your specific area, but we need your name and your phone number so we can reach out to you. We also need to know if somebody out there needs help. Maybe it's just somebody to check on you. Maybe it's to just have a conversation. We have volunteers that'll give you a call. Somebody's elderly, alone, disabled, whatever it might be. A little phone call, and this applies for everybody. Good way to Skype, Facebook time, FaceTime on Facebook. There are a number of ways. This is really an important time to stay in touch. Just because you don't see somebody, don't assume everything is okay. Loneliness in this country is a big problem, and in situations like a pandemic, it's even worse. So there's the phone number, 534-7500, extension 5055 for anything. If there's something that we can do for you, let us know. Please, don't be shy. That's why we're here. And projects that we're going to continue on here in the city. We've signed contracts with construction companies. They are approved on the approved list in terms of necessity. We'll move forward with those plans, and off we go. And let's see, census. If you are home and you really get bored, and that census is sort of turns up, it gets moved from one counter to another, from the kitchen table to another part of it. Before it gets in the junk drawer, fill it out. If you haven't got it, don't worry about it. They're going to send another form out. It might be the old-fashioned, old-school form, which you have to handwrite. The ones that you see now are to be done electronically. Fill them out, get them out of your way. You'll feel so much better. If not, that's when they really start to put the pressure on. They have people start banging on doors and making phone calls and following you to the toilet paper aisle at Market Basket. So fill it out so people will leave you alone, and we'll be all better off when it's through. Again, we want to thank you, all the first responders, all those working in the medical world, all those teachers who continue to wish they were back in the classroom and they were able to continue to teach as they started in September or late August, and continue to email and use things like Skype and other electronic devices to get the message home. My next order of business is I'd really like to get computers, electronic devices into the hands of kids and students who don't have them. I would really like to get, again, next in the priority, and we'll talk about this on our conference call tomorrow morning with department heads in the school department, is really like to get internet access to those kids. Beyond the emails and information you get from your teachers, there is a ton of positive things and learning environments that are out there beyond your imagination. What's out there, and that is going to help you keep you busy, but also keep your brain stimulated and help you to retain what you've been taught all year. Okay. Couple other positive things. One is, for some reason, we have not seen marriages. People come to City Hall often to get a marriage certificate. A few stories to share with you. A few had bigger weddings planned and had to cancel them. And I asked, well, you can always get married the summer or the fall or whatever. And they said, you know what? We're going to go ahead with the marriage anyway, and then we'll have the party later. That's true love, isn't it? And then this afternoon, let me see. I don't know if I could find a picture. I don't know if to, no. I'll show you. I'll print it out for you tomorrow, and then you can see it. But we've had a number of people come to City Hall. Well, because the building is closed, we've had to marry people in the parking lot. And today it was snowing, and there was a couple outside my window, and they were taking their vows. That's true love. So there are some positive things. Feel free to share those positive things. I know the teachers did this big parade today. I had a meeting down in Boston today, so I had to go, but I missed the parade. But I understand it was really cool, and kids held signs outside, and had almost like 100 cars going through the streets of the city, which is pretty neat. And I want to announce to you tonight, this afternoon, that it looks like people are beginning to back out of the Olympics. We are going to have the soap Olympics here in the city. Yes. I will list the categories tomorrow. We'll have prizes for those, but you need to be creative. This is in the line of part for the arts and a physical piece of this. So we're going to have 2 or 3 categories to share with you tomorrow as part of our SOAP Olympics 2020. So while this is a serious matter, and we all take it serious, we know we have to keep people busy, and there are positive things that will happen. This will be something we'll look back later and say, you know what, we bonded together, we struggled, but we got through it, we came out better, more knowledgeable. We actually got to, have experiences that we never thought we'd get time for. And please, if anybody gets to the point where you start to open the old photo albums, please let me know, because that is a pivotal point in this process. Anyway, thank you again for everybody for whatever you've done, even if you've just been patient and kind, and maybe you left a bottle of water out for the guys that pick up sanitation. Maybe those people that are out walking 8 to 12 miles a day delivering the mail. They're on a regular schedule. You know what? Little kind deeds can go a long way. Thank you. Be safe. Be careful. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for another update.